Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is July 10th. July 10th. Month is already rolling by fast. It's July 10th, 7:44. Headed to work. Kamari's already gone. Headed to work. Yeah, excuse the lighting because it's not sunny. It's a little bit it's cloudy. So yeah, I'm headed to work. Yeah, just got on this little white top and I have on some peach looking kulak shorts, pants type things. And I got on my sneakers because I told you I've been walking, parking my car in the furthest parking spot at work. So I got on my sneakers. So with the sneakers, it look a little cray-cray. Okay, it looks crazy. I tell you, boy, they stay building something. It looks a little crazy, but I got my wedges in my bag that I'm gonna wear when I get to work. So I feel like I'm looking cute today. I did really simple makeup. I haven't been doing my eyebrows because I need to tweeze them and get them together, but I just ain't felt like it. So haven't been doing my brows, rocking the same lashes that I showed you guys from Target. So yeah, I got my work bag, I got my lunch, and my purse, and I've been sipping on some water this morning because I'm gonna have a cup of coffee when I get to work. It's Wednesday, the week is going by fast. It's already Wednesday, but every Wednesday we have a staff meeting at 8:30, an hour staff meeting every Wednesday. So I'll make sure I have my coffee before I go in there. But yeah, just bare minimum makeup. I've actually this is a Clinique foundation, and I've actually really been liking this foundation. It's very lightweight, and I only put on a little bit. So you can still see some of my imperfection or flaws or whatever you want to call it. And I remember when I got the foundation, I was asking her, like, is it full coverage, is it buildable? And she was like, why you need that? Because when I went in there, I didn't have any makeup. She was like, why you need all of that? She was like, you don't need all that. Why you trying to cover up every single thing? I was like, cause I like a flawless look. She was like, no, let that show. I was like, I don't know, but I can say that I actually do like it. My face looks so oily, oh my gosh, but I really do like the foundation. So yeah, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. Lisa Nichols said something, and I'm going to put the link to her video, the video that I watched faithfully. I'm gonna put the link to that video in every single one of my videos that I post. That video, every time I watch it, I learn brand new stuff all over again. I don't know. It's just everything about her in that video just speaks to me. And she said something in that video about taking a chance. And she was like, when you get to the edge, you're afraid to jump on, you're afraid to take that step off because you've tried it before, you got hurt, you tried it before, you failed, or you see other people trying it and they're not making it, and so you're afraid to take that step. And she said, always, every time you get to the edge, your mind will always tell you, no, stop. Remember last time it didn't work out, or remember when Becky tried that, it ain't work out. She said your mind will always tell you to stop. She said, but this is when that you have to learn how to play in between your mind and your soul. And she said, I'm here to tell you, jump. And she said only 3 things can happen, when you jump. 1, you'll fly. 2, you'll land on something soft. 3, you land on something hard. But either way, you know what it takes. You already have what it takes to get back up. You already know what it takes to get back up. you know, because you fell before. So either way, you know. And so she said, you have to learn how to play between your mind and your soul. And last night, I feel like, what is that noise? I'm hearing music or something. It ain't in my car. But last night I kind of felt like I wasn't having an outer body experience or anything like that, but last night I feel like I got a greater understanding of that. So yesterday I told you guys, you know, I just wasn't in the best of moods or whatever, and I really think it had to do with that doggone exercise that I started that I gotta finish today because I didn't do it last night. So anyway, I don't know. So yesterday when I got home, I just felt hopeless. That's the word. I felt hopeless when I got home yesterday. And I sat in the car. I probably sat in the car for about 30 minutes, just sitting in the car. I mean, I had the air on. I wasn't doing nothing crazy. You know, the car was crunk. You know, I was just sitting in the car. I didn't want to get out the car. I felt hopeless. You know, I felt hopeless. And hopeless, I don't know if any of you guys have experienced the feeling of hopelessness. But if you have, you know that it's a dangerous place to reside. It's a dangerous place to reside. And so I couldn't think of the word of how I was feeling, but I knew it was something, and it was hopeless. And that's a dangerous place to live. Oh my God, it is a dangerous place to live. And I can tell you that because I've lived there before. I've been there before. It's a dangerous place to live. You don't want to stay there for a long time, because it doesn't end up good when you're hopeless. You know, you have no hope. You have... Is she finna turn over here? Jerk. Trying to get up in here. So anyway, I don't want to take long, but hopelessness, it's a dangerous place to live. If you think that you're there or you feel that you're there, please reach out and talk to someone, because you don't want to stay there. You know, I've been there before. It just feels like you have absolutely no hope in anything. And I felt that way so heavy yesterday. And a part of the exercise that I'm doing is called Expose the Lies. So the first part of the exercise is writing down all the lies that you tell yourself surrounding certain areas. And no lie, when I was sitting in the car and even when I came inside, those lies that I wrote down, this is how powerful your mind is. This is how powerful your mind is. And I promise you I can't make this up. As I was just sitting there or whatever, every lie I wrote down on that paper, and then even some that I didn't even write on that paper, it was like it was on repeat, and it was just over and over and over. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like, and I'm trying to fight the thoughts. I'm trying to fight it as hard as I can by, you know, trying to play solitaire, or, you know, trying to find any and everything to do to shift my mind and to shift my focus. But those lies kept repeating themselves over and over and over and over. And as they continued to repeat themselves over and over, I just felt like I kept going lower and lower and lower. And I'm like, oh, I just wanted to do this one exercise because I just want to get free. Like, I desperately want to get free. And I want total freedom, like total freedom. If God said, hey, I'm not even going to use that. I want total freedom. I want total freedom in my mind. I want total freedom in my body. Like, I want total freedom. I don't need no fancy car. I want one, though. Don't get me wrong now. I want one. I don't need no fancy car. What I need is total freedom. I don't need no big mansion. I still don't want a big mansion. I would like a nice size house. But what I need is peace in my mind. If you don't have your mind, you don't have nothing. And I just kept trying to shake the thoughts, try to combat it with the truth. And I'm just like, God dog, why is all this happening? Everything has been going so great, so great during this whole 30 days. Why now it just seemed like everything is just going totally left field. And so, what happened was, all the lies kept coming up, kept repeating themselves. And like I said, I was trying to combat them, trying to think of other things, trying to do other things. And then it just finally got to the point, this is how powerful your thoughts are. It got to the point where I was like, you know what? Now here it was. Now, I've been trying to fight them. Tell the truth, change the subject or whatever. And then it got to a point I was sitting there and I was like, maybe I'm not going to make it. Maybe those lies are actually true. Oh God, and I'm getting emotional. I sat there and I was just thinking, it's been so hard. It's been so hard. And I haven't quite made it yet. So maybe I'm not going to make it. And I'm not talking about dying, but I'm just saying maybe the things that I want to do, maybe I won't get them. Maybe they are out of my reach, and then that became my thoughts. My thoughts earlier was, I ain't come this far, for God to lead. And I said this yesterday. I said this to myself yesterday because I kept trying to shake, I wasn't understanding why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And I kept saying it yesterday. I ain't come this far, to be left here. I ain't come this far, to not get the things that I want out of life. I didn't come this far. I didn't put in this much, I haven't put in this much work to become an entrepreneur or just whatever. I just kept saying that yesterday, I ain't come this far, I haven't been through all of this just to say that this is it, And I kept telling myself that yesterday, and then towards the end of the day, everything changed, and I was just like, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not as talented as I thought I was. Well, maybe these things are true because I haven't seen the fruit of my labor yet. So that's where my thoughts started to go, and I was just like, man. And when you get there, that's when hopelessness starts to set in. And when you get there, it's a dangerous place because not only do you begin to believe the lies, but then you start to act like the lies. You start to act like those things are so. And it was like, in that moment, I kind of it's hard to explain, and I hope I'm going to explain it in a way that you guys can understand. Then I'm going to hurry up and get out of the car. But I went and took a shower because I had to do something. The thoughts were just too great. So I went to take a shower. And as I took a shower, I just cried and cried and cried and cried because I'm like, Lord, you go down that list. Well, I know I ain't been reading like I should be reading. I know I ain't been doing this. And I know, you go down that list, and I'm just, Lord, am I going to make it? Am I going to have, am I going to be who you've called me to be? Or is it always going to be like this? Is it always going to be like this? And so I just cried. I cried my eyes out, something silly in that shower last night. And that's why my eyes all puffy up here, but I cried my eyes out, something silly. And so when I got out of the shower, now during this time, my son, he was outside playing, and so I was in the house by myself, and I was in the house by myself. And so as I got out of the shower, whatever, lotioning up and stuff like that, then my son came inside, and as he was talking, he was just asking simple questions, basic stuff. It wasn't nothing extravagant or anything like that. But as he was asking me questions, I began to feel myself getting so frustrated. And I'm like, why am I getting frustrated? He just asking me a simple question. I have no reason to be frustrated. And then the frustration started to be turn into aggravation. Stop asking me questions. I don't want to talk right now, And I sat down on the bed and I was like, oh my gosh. It was like a light bulb went off. I was like, I was like, I could see myself, or like throughout this 30 days, you know, I've been reading, you know, doing everything that I've been doing these 30 days, really staying into the word, you know, reading, always listening to the motivation, you know, so my mind had been just filled with positive, and it's put me in a totally different headspace, I said it in previous videos that I got 100 things, you know, piled up for me to do, but I'm not even worried about any of them because I want to get home, you know, I want to get back and I want to read this and I want to read that, and that's literally where my head was. And the minute yesterday I started believing those lies, the minute I started believing them yesterday, it was like everything flew out the window. Everything shifted. I was no longer light. It just felt heavy, and I was just like, whoa, wow, okay. Is this what playing between your head and your soul is like? Because my head is trying to tell me that I'll never be this, I'll never have that, I'll never do this, I'll never accomplish that, and I'm trying to fight it so bad because Joyce Meyer says that the mind is a battlefield. So I'm trying to fight it so bad by saying, no, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. But my soul is reassuring me, this is you. Like, this is you. Like, it's nobody else. There's no other person living inside you. This is you. So what you see is yours. And I was like, this is what it feels like. This is why the mind is a battlefield, because my soul is fighting its hardest, showing me and telling me, no. Don't believe that. This is you. Like, this is you. You know, you're seeing the things that you see, you're seeing them because they're you. What you're doing is you. And your mind is trying to tell you, nah, you ain't good enough. Nah, remember what you did 5 years ago? Nah, I mean, I was like, this is what it feels like, what she was saying, when you have to play between your mind and your soul. Because had I stayed in my mind, ain't no telling. Had I stayed in my mind, it just ain't no telling. That's just it. You know, I can't even finish that sentence. It's just no telling. It's just no telling. And it reminded me, because I've been there for so long. Oh my God. I've been there for so long, depressed, mad, sad, angry, bitter, hopelessness, not having high self-esteem, not having, a sense of worthiness, a sense of pride, not pride like prideful, but not being proud of myself. I used to think for the longest that I was nothing, that I was nobody. God, and it makes me emotional every time, but that's where I always was. I'm never good enough, I work extra hard and I try to do things, to please people, and it never seems to work out. So my mind always was in that frame. And let me tell you, like I said, it is a dangerous place to reside. And I understand why they say when you are trying to personally develop yourself and you're trying to grow, I understand why they say that this is the road less traveled. It's the road less traveled because it's hard. It's hard. It does require you to take a look back. I'm not going to be Lot's wife and take a look back and still want those things and turn into a pillar of salt. But it does require you to look back. It requires you to look back, and it can be pretty painful. And then it kind of makes you a little sad, because you look back and you be like, man, why did you do that to yourself? Why didn't you love yourself enough? Why didn't you, encourage yourself enough? Why didn't you do those things? And I guess for me, that's the main thing is, I look back on some things. And I say to myself, man, I wish you would have been a little bit stronger then, or why didn't you just walk away, or why didn't you do this? I look back and I don't want to have a life of regrets. I don't want to have a life of regrets, because it's not that I've had an extremely terrible life or anything like that, because I haven't. We all go through things. Nobody is exempt from going through anything. So just like you know, you guys have gone through things, I've gone through things too, but it hasn't been, you know, anything outrageous, you know. But it just, I don't know, yesterday was just like a total yesterday afternoon was just like a total, I don't know, eye-opener. It was just, I don't know, you know, there was parts of the day where I just kept looking around and just like, man, whose life is this? Like, whose life is this that I'm living? Because I'm not happy with the life that I'm living, because I'm not doing the things that I desire and that I talk about, you know, that I really want to do, you know. So I just kept looking around some parts of the day like, man, whose life is this? Like, this ain't mine. It's like, I don't know who life I'm trying to live, but it's not mine, you know. I don't feel fulfilled in areas, you know, especially when it comes to employment. I don't mind working, you know. I don't mind working. I don't mind getting up in the morning, you know. I don't mind working, you know. I understand that we need to work, but I'm not fulfilled. I'm not fulfilled with this work that I'm doing. But anyway, it's 8:05, so let me get out the car because I have a walk. I'm gonna make my walk and I want to make my coffee before the meeting. Excuse me. But I hope you guys kind of got an understanding of what I was trying to say or what I was trying to explain. You know, it's just yeah. So I hope I was kind of clear. I know I'll be all over the place. I know I'll be all over the place with my thoughts and my thinking. It's just I be having about 20, 30, 40, 50 thoughts in my head at one time, and so I try to say everything that is coming through at once, you know, without but I, you know, mess up, miss stuff. But it's just so many thoughts, and I know, I'm sorry, I'm all digging in my nose or whatever, but I needed to make sure my face was clean before I got out. But you know, I pray that you guys have a blessed and prosperous day. The one Lisa Nichols video that I always watch, she referenced another one of her videos, Abundant Life, or Abundance Life, and it's a three-day kind of like series that she did on YouTube. So I actually started watching that this morning. I'm still going to complete the rest of the assignments that I told you guys I started with, and I'm like, golly, I mean, she said it wasn't going to be a pretty assignment, but now I'm like, I don't even know if I want to finish, because if I did one day and it got me all acting like this, I don't know if I want to do another day, but I am going to finish it. I'm going to finish it today, and then I'm going to watch the I started watching day 1 of The Abundant Life, and I really want to watch that, because when she talked about that book, she said that book is the greatest work that, and the video that I watch religiously, she made that video before she did The Abundance Life. So in that video, she talked about that Abundance Life is going to be one of the greatest works that she creates or that she writes. So I am interested to get that book, but I want to listen to the 3 days. But all right, it's 8:08. Let me get out of this car. You guys have a blessed and prosperous day. Put your best foot forward. You know, put your best foot forward. Yes, yesterday I was down, but guess what? Today is a whole brand new day. Back up. You know, you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the ups with the downs. You know, you got to take it all together and build from it, you know, and grow from it. That's the main thing, to grow from it, to learn, you know. So always educate yourself and keep yourself first. Make yourself a priority. Make yourself a priority in your life. If you don't, who else will? And if somebody else makes you a priority in their life over themselves, and you're not a priority yourselves, you question that, because something ain't right. You know, so you just have to question that. If here I am, you got to think about it. Here I am, my whole self. If I don't put me on a pedestal, if I don't put my own self on a pedestal, If somebody else comes along and says, oh, you won't put yourself on a pedestal, I'll do it for you. Here, I'll put you on that pedestal. You better believe that it's going to cost you something, and you better believe it's going to cost you something, and there's something behind that. I don't know what, but it's something behind that. So put yourself first, you know. Take the time to get to know you. Knowing your worth is worth the while. Take your time to get to know you. All right, y'all. I will see you guys later.